Okay, good morning once again, guys. So, today I want to talk about stress and the pressures of the modern day world. And we are living such a stressed out life. And I want to talk about the cure for that. And I understand that the demands on life are very stressful for the modern day family, right? It destroys you. And what I'm seeing in today's world, guys, a lot of people they're perishing. A lot of young people are dying, right? A lot of people are getting depressed. A lot of people are getting suicidal, right? A lot of people hate their life because it is so tiring. A lot of people they're so worn down, they're so beaten up because of the stress. It affects your mind, it affects your mental facets, guys, right? It affects your nervous system, right? Because you're always so stressed, right? And if you look at the demands on today's parents or today's working world, you have to work. The job itself is stressful. They are beating you to the core to get everything out of you in today's world, right? Just to make a side note, I know some jobs are not like that. Some jobs are not stressful whatsoever, right? But the demands on life is very high. It's a lot, guys. Then there's now education and studies, and there's extracurricular activities, and um, and then there's the demand of the home, and then there's no stress and frustration in the home and in the marriage, and there's so much tension with the kids, and all this is taking a toll on you. You have to get all these things done. In this relationship, it's harming you, it's hurting you, and it's destroying you, and you're not happy, guys. Wow, and God doesn't want his children like that, right? Um, and the easiest thing for us to do is to say, let's disconnect. We just That's the two methods the world has given us. If these things are stressing you out, if your family is stressing you out, if your marriage is stressing you out, if your work is stressing you out, right? The world counsels you. Our thinking says, all right, if this is stressing me out, disconnect. Don't have time with them again. Don't take them on. Don't try to teach them the right thing. Let them be, right? Don't bother to talk to he again in this relationship. That ain't making sense. He only stressing me out, right? I want to have peace. I want to be think, or maybe your workplace, or this work is too much. It's overloading me. It's killing me, right? You know what? Let me take a little desk work somewhere and relax myself, and make things easy on myself, and that's okay, no problem. But guess what? You end up in financial burdens. You're struggling. You can't pay the bills because you've disconnected. You disconnect from your family. Um, you no longer have a relationship with your kids. Guess what? The outcome of that is they come out wayward. They come out struggling. So the option is this: do I stress myself and kill myself out over them, right? So that they could come out good and be a blessing to society and be a blessing to you, right? Or do I just disconnect and enjoy my life and just relax myself because they're overburdening me, right? And a lot of parents do that, guys. They just disconnect, they leave it be, they have no time with that, right? And they go about living their life and being merry and being happy. And the problem with that is the kids suffer. The kids don't have they don't have that upbringing. They're not even teaching them. You're not making any effort with them. You're not helping them to carry them to go and swim or to go and run or to go and exercise. Why? Because it's burdening you, it's a pressure on you. Right? But guess what? They are unhealthy, they are unhappy, right? Because you're not making the effort. And why you're not making the effort? Because it is stressing you out. And I understand that, guys. But I'm here to give you an answer, right? So the modern world, guys, even with the home today now, it's very demanding. Relationships are very demanding, right? School is very demanding, right? And what it does, it causes all this pressure to build up on the kids, to build up on everybody, right? I watch my little daughter in SE, and or not my little daughter, but I watch other kids in SE, and it's so rigorous. If you decide you're going to pass this exam, you have to decide, I am going to kill myself out. And a lot of people say, you know what, it ain't worth that. I ain't going to kill myself out. I just going to do however as best as I could do and leave it at that. Right? And guess what? You end up in a bad school and you end up going down a wrong road. So, you know what we say? Boy, put in the effort and kill yourself out. But you're stressed, you're unhappy, you're frustrated, you're flustered, right? And I watch it with these kids, and I'm like, wait, that can't be life. That cannot be life. And they say, don't worry, when this exam finishes, you have a little time again. But right through life is like that, guys. From one exam to the next exam to the next exam, it doesn't stop. So it's constant stress. And when you finish with university now, guess what? You go out into the workplace and it's the same stress. You're frustrated, you're stressed out, you're flustered. There's so much workload on you, guys. Plenty work builds pressure and it destroys your life, right? You know what they say, pressure does burst pipe, right? So it destroys you guys, and it's a continuous process. So either we become somebody or become successful in life and enjoy life to an extent, guys, and you know, our kids enjoy life to an extent, or we just live a laid back life, right? And struggle with life, but we laid back, we're not stressed, we ain't really taking on nothing, right? And so you're living in poverty and you're struggling in that area as well, right? So don't think that's a way out. Don't think disconnecting is a way out. It is not a way out to deal with your stress. Then there's another way people deal with their stress, guys. We live in a pharmaceutical world as well, so they have a lot of vitamins and a lot of things on the market that they give you, and they say, you know what, this will help you cope with the stress. This will give you an ease. This will help you deal with the stress, right? So take these supplements, right? And it balances out your body that you are able to handle more stress. You understand that? Right? So we go and we load up on these supplements that probably has some negative effects as well, right? We are spending a lot on these things and we say, you know what, now we can cope with the stress. So we load up our kids with this, we load up ourselves with this, so we are able to handle the stresses of life, right? Okay, I hear you with that too, right? Then there are some guys, how do they handle stress, right? Just like you take supplements, guess what they start to do? They start to smoke weed, because the weed keeps them calm, and they start to smoke cigarette, because cigarette keeps them calm, it keeps them relaxed. You know, some of them go and take a little beer. Some of them, you know, they find a social life on an afternoon. Instead of coming home to their family, they go to the bar to de-stress, right? They hang out with his friends and take a couple beers most of the evenings to de-stress. Family gets blank though. Your wife and your kids get blank. They on their own, right? Because I have a stressful and I need to de-stress. So do you see how the world is teaching us to de-stress? Do you think any of that is good for you? All of that causes problems, right? All of that causes issues in your life, right? A lot of people, some people, they turn to other decent enough activities. I'm not saying don't do these things, right? Some people, they go to the gym, right? To de-stress, right? They go to they may see somebody they know, they smile, they laugh, and they exercise, and they do a couple hobbies as well to balance the scales and be able to de-stress, right? I am here to tell you this morning, guys, after all this is said, there's a simpler way to de-stress, right? Jesus said, I am the lifter of your burdens. Come unto me, all those who are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. That's a promise. His promise is to take away the stress from your life, to make life easier for you guys. That's what stress is, right? Imagine a whole set of load, right? And God says, no, I'm going to take away that load. I'm not taking away the load, don't mean that He's going to take you away from the things, you know. You're going to still have the load, but He's going to make it lighter for you. So it come like he's under the load and he is holding up that load for you. And you just under here enjoying yourself. Think of a beam supporting a building. That beam taking all the load on that building. I wanted to catch that. So what God does now, he comes now under that, between the beam and the building, and he puts himself. Right? So guess what? The beam now is taking no load. He taking all the load. That's what God wants to do for your life. So that you don't have to be stressed out in anything. In other words, if your work is stressing you out, right, and you're so flustered, it's too much, it's you have to overthink, you have to overwork it, it's frustrating, guys. Don't tell me your work is not. Come on. God can get in there, guys. He can get into your heart, into your mind, and into your body. He can make things easier for you in your workplace. I'm not saying he's going to take away the workload. It's just the workload will suddenly become easy. You'll be able to function in it easier. You'll be able to do it. You'll be able to see things and do it faster, do it quicker, do it smarter, right? It's not going to stress you out. You're going to have the ability to do it, right? And therefore, what was once a burden and a stress is now a joy because it has become easy. So guess what? You're no longer frustrated because that's what the stress does. It destroys you, it frustrates you, right? Or maybe you're stressed out in your you have to do this stuff with your kids. You have to show them stuff, you have to teach them stuff, or maybe the relationship is frustrating. Let's don't jump. Let's do the like you have to teach your kids. It can become very frustrating because you have to sit down and figure out these things and then figure out a way to teach them these things, and you're stressed out every afternoon trying to do it. Here's what I'm telling you. Get God involved. Lord, I need your grace. Make it easy. Lift that burden. You come take my load. And God starts to work in you guys. And here's what happens. It's not a 10-year process, and he starts to work the evening you pray it. Right? And he comes to work in you, and guess what? What used to be a stressful afternoon now becomes an easy afternoon. You realize it now? I be told this so quick. I have more time to do something else. I have more time to relax. Right? Because it has become so easy. That's what God does. He makes life easy for you, right? And in your relationship stresses you out. Maybe you have a rival relationship between your spouse or your kids, right? So you're stressed out in that area as well. What does he come in and do? He makes it easy, guys. He makes it easy for you to interact. He makes it easy for you to understand them. He makes it easy in the relationship. He brings a level of peace in the relationship so that relationship does not stress you out. You actually start enjoying that relationship, guys. That's what he comes to do. He comes to, the message I shared previous, you can check it out. It's a powerful message. He's come to give you life, John 10:10. All that is part of life. Right? That you are enjoying your life. He don't want you to go to work and you're dread and you're stressed out and you're frustrated. He don't want you in your family. He says children are a blessing. A marriage is a blessing. He don't want it to be a cursing, because that's what it comes like today. It's so much of work, so much of stress, right? It's like, Lord, I bring these things in this way. I make these things. I don't say I make these things, but I had to take care of these little children, and it's so frustrating. It's robbing me of my life, and yet you say children are a blessing. Oh, right? Why? Because you're doing it on your own. You are taking the burdens of life. You're not letting him lift your burdens. He will come in. He will give you the grace to handle your children, to enjoy them. You will now enjoy them. You will love them. They will become a blessing to you. They'll be so nice, and they will fill you up with joy, and that you will have a love relationship. And life will become so easy. You will enjoy picking them up. You will enjoy doing their schoolwork. You will enjoy doing stuff for them. You will enjoy spending time with them. Right? Because God doesn't want you to dread any aspect of your life. He doesn't want any aspect of your life to stress you out. So you get him involved, and he lifts the burden so that you can enjoy your life. Guys, I want you to catch that. So again, maybe you are stressed out in life, right? And that's because you're doing life alone. And I am here to tell you this morning You don't have to go down that road anymore. You don't have to take the medication or the supplements. Take it if you want. You spend your money and do your thing. You don't have to disconnect from those things so that you can not be stressed out because it leads to a lot of problems. You don't have to you don't have to turn to other things such as alcohol and weed and drugs and pornography and sex and just to vent your stress, just to make life more bearable. Get God involved in your life. Let Him lift the burdens. Let Him take all your load. Let Him make life more enjoyable in those areas that are stressing you out. Right, guys? And you will now be at ease. You will now be so relaxed and so calm. The same pressures that were destroying you yesterday are not going to destroy you anymore. Right? You're not going to look wilted and damaged. Like, imagine the beam on the building looks cracked and bent. And you don't want to look like that because it's under so much a load.